Every Heartland fan knows the feeling. Fighting, waiting for the next episode, wondering what twists are coming, and trying to guess where the story will take our favorite characters next. And now all eyes are locked on season 19, episode 6, an episode that promises more emotion, more challenges, and a new spotlight moment that fans won't want to miss. There is a lot of excitement in the Heartland community right now, and it's all because episode 6 of season 19 is finally ready to arrive. After following the emotional journey of the last few episodes, viewers have been waiting for a solid update, and now it's official. Heartland Season 19, Episode 6 will be released on January 6th. This means fans will not have to wait much longer before they get answers to the questions raised in the last chapter. The countdown is already creating a growing buzz, and the date itself, January 6th, feels like a moment circled on every fan's calendar. It's the kind of episode that arrives right after the show builds tension, closes one emotional arc, and opens another, making the release day feel even more important. As the premiere day approaches, many viewers are remembering how episode 5 ended and how it left several storylines hanging at just the right moment. The show has always been good at creating small cliffhangers. Nothing too dramatic, but enough to make you wonder what Amy, Lou, Tim, or Jack will face next. Episode 6 seems set to pick up right from that energy. The date is more than just a time slot. It's the next page in a story that fans have been following for nearly 2 decades. And the fact that this long-running series can still draw people in with this level of excitement says a lot about how deeply the audience cares about Heartland and its characters. The timing of this episode is also important for another reason. The early January schedule means viewers will be returning from the holiday break with a fresh emotional slate. Heartland is known for episodes that hit with extra impact when you're watching them during a calm, reflective time of year. Episode 6 fits perfectly into that mood. The show often uses these mid-season episodes to shift tone or introduce new emotional stakes. So hearing that the new chapter arrives on January 6th already builds a sense of calm and comfort mixed with excitement, almost like settling into a new year with the characters you've grown up with. The network's decision to place this episode early in January suggests that it carries something meaningful. Heartland doesn't usually release an episode in this position unless it pushes the story forward or highlights a powerful moment for the main characters. Fans have noticed that the promo materials and the official title of the episode point to something that will place the characters, especially Amy, under emotional and perhaps literal lights. While the full breakdown will be explored in later sections, just knowing that episode 6 carries a title like Under Lights adds extra curiosity to the release date. January 6th suddenly becomes not just a day to watch an episode, but a day to uncover a message, a turning point, or even a hidden meaning behind what is coming next. Another reason the release date matters so much is that season 19 has been focusing heavily on character development. The writers have taken their time showing how Amy grows as a trainer and as a mother, how Lou balances her leadership role with her family responsibilities, and how Jack and Tim deal with personal challenges and memories from their pasts. Because episode 6 comes right in the middle of these emotional arcs, fans expect it to bring answers, new conflicts, or key moments that shape the rest of the season. This is why the exact date, January 6th, has become the center of conversation in fan groups, forums, and social pages. As the countdown continues, viewers are sharing theories about what might happen next and what kind of energy the episode will bring. Some people wonder if the story will move toward a big event. Others believe it will focus more on personal struggles and emotional healing. Whatever direction the episode takes, the release date gives fans a solid anchor point to prepare for another memorable chapter. And considering how Heartland has handled emotional pacing throughout the season, episode 6 is expected to deliver something worth the anticipation. So as the release date approaches, the excitement is not simply about watching a new episode. It's about returning to the ranch, stepping back into the character's world, and seeing how the events of the season continue to unfold. January 6th marks the next moment where all the story paths reconnect, questions get answered, and new emotional journeys begin. The wait may feel long, but the date is set, the episode is ready, and Heartland fans are prepared for another powerful moment in season 19. The title of episode 6, Under Lights, is already creating a wave of curiosity among Heartland fans. Heartland titles are usually chosen with care, and they often carry more than one meaning. This title feels symbolic, emotional, and maybe even a little mysterious. When fans hear Under Lights, the first thought might be of a spotlight, something or someone being placed in full view. But Heartland never uses symbolism lightly, and this title hints at a deeper layer of meaning that ties directly into the emotional direction of Season 19. Titles in Heartland are often clues, small windows into the heart of an episode, and this one suggests that a situation, a character, or even a secret is about to be exposed, examined, or tested. The idea of lights shining on something usually means a truth coming forward, a moment of pressure, or a situation where someone must show strength in front of others. When you think about Amy, the character who has carried the emotional core of the show for so many years, the title becomes even more interesting. Amy has always worked calmly behind the scenes, with horses, away from crowds, away from noise, and away from the spotlight. But the idea of being under lights could hint that she might be pulled into a situation where she cannot stay in the background. Maybe a public event, a night training session, or a tense moment where she must make a difficult choice in front of others. The title could be pointing to Amy stepping out of her comfort zone and into a moment where she is watched, judged, or pressured. Fans know that Amy shines the most during emotional tests, and this title feels like it is preparing the viewers for something meaningful in her journey. But the title may not only refer to Amy. Heartland is a family-driven story, and the lights could also point toward someone else facing a turning point. Lou, for example, often has to make decisions as a leader, and leadership always puts someone under pressure. The lights could represent attention, responsibility, or a situation where Lou must confront a challenge in her role as mayor or as a mother. The show has been building tension around Lou's responsibilities, and episode 6 might place her in a position where she must speak up, defend a choice, or handle a situation that affects the whole community. The title might be hinting at a moment where Lou must stand strong despite feeling exposed. The phrase "under lights" could also be taken more literally. In Heartland, episodes often involve special events, rodeos, competitions, showcases, community gatherings, and many of these events happen under arena lights or outdoor lights in the evening. A scene set at night under bright lights usually carries heavy emotion in Heartland's storytelling style. These moments often push characters into action, create turning points, or reveal hidden feelings. If the episode includes a nighttime event or a training session under bright lights, it could symbolize a moment of clarity where characters see themselves or each other differently. These literal lights often serve as emotional triggers, helping characters confront something they have been avoiding. Because of that, the title might signal a scene that is visually striking and emotionally loaded. There is also the possibility that Under Lights hints at a theme of exposure or truth. Heartland frequently explores emotional honesty, characters facing buried feelings, old wounds, or unresolved conflicts. Lights can reveal things that were once hidden in the dark. Episode 6 might bring a conversation or a personal truth to the surface. A character might finally share something they have held inside, or a misunderstanding could be cleared up. Sometimes Heartland uses small, quiet, emotional scenes rather than dramatic confrontations in a setting under lights, whether inside a barn, near the arena, or somewhere on the ranch, often becomes the perfect place for characters to open up. When fans think about Jack and Tim, the title adds an entirely different meaning. Both men have strong personalities, and both carry heavy histories. Being under lights could refer to a moment where they must face a personal weakness, an old mistake, or a conflict between them. These two characters often struggle with pride, loyalty, and their own emotional barriers. Episode 6 might bring a situation where Jack or Tim must face something they didn't expect, something that pushes them to reflect or change. Lights expose flaws and reveal truth, and for characters with complicated pasts, this can create powerful moments. Even the younger characters like Bayardi or Lindy might play into this theme. A child stepping into the lights could refer to learning something important, discovering a new skill, or realizing a truth about themselves. Heartland often uses small character moments with younger cast members to add emotional balance and innocence to the story. If Lindy is involved in a scene under La Barn, Episode 6 is shaping up to be one of the most emotionally layered chapters of Season 19, and each character's storyline seems ready to take an important step forward. While Heartland never reveals every detail before an episode airs, the hints, patterns, and direction of the season give a very clear picture of what fans can expect. Episode 6 appears to bring together tension, growth, and emotional honesty, all wrapped inside the theme suggested by its title. The plot feels designed to place each main character in a moment where they confront personal truth, face a challenge, or take a step that moves their story ahead. Heartland episodes in the middle of the season often balance emotional development with quiet conflict, and Episode 6 is likely built in that same style. For Amy, this episode may focus strongly on her connection with a particular horse or a training case that demands extra effort. Amy has always been at her best when she is guiding horses through fear, confusion, or trauma, and the early part of Season 19 has already shown her facing emotional challenges of her own. Episode 6 may reflect her inner struggles through her work, as the show often connects Amy's personal growth with a horse that mirrors her feelings. She may be asked to help a horse under stressful conditions, possibly during an event or training session held at night, which ties directly into the lights theme. This situation might push Amy into a moment where she has to trust her instincts again, face pressure from others watching, or step into a leadership role she sometimes hesitates to take. The plot may reveal subtle signs of her moving forward emotionally, not just as a horse trainer, but as a mother guiding Lindy through new experiences. Lou's storyline may run parallel, but focus more on responsibility and decision-making. Lou has been carrying a heavy load in Season 19, both as a mare and as a member of the Bartlett-Fleming family. Episode 6 might place her in a situation where she must choose between her duties and her family's needs. This kind of conflict has always shaped Lou's character, and the writers often use mid-season episodes to highlight the pressure she feels from all sides. A public event, a community issue, or even a misunderstanding at the ranch may demand her attention, and the lights could represent the public eye watching her every move. At the same time, Lou may find herself drawn back into family matters that require emotional honesty, perhaps a conversation with Katie, a disagreement with Mitch, or a moment of vulnerability that shows the strain she has been carrying. Lou's plot often reflects the theme of balancing ambition with heart, and Episode 6 may offer a moment where she must reconnect with what truly matters to her. Meanwhile, Jack's role in the episode is likely to revolve around emotional guidance and hidden strength. Jack has always been the heart of the ranch, the steady force that helps everyone find clarity. But when an episode hints at exposure or truth, it usually means Jack will either share a story from his past or face a situation that stirs old memories. This could involve a lesson he wants Amy or Lou to understand, or it might be tied to the ranch's history. Sometimes the show uses nighttime scenes with Jack to reveal important truths, quiet moments under barn lights where he speaks honestly about pain or regret. Episode 6 could bring him into a reflective conversation, perhaps with Tim, where buried emotions rise to the surface. Jack's presence often anchors episodes with emotional weight, and here he may deliver wisdom that helps another character face their own challenge. Tim, on the other hand, may face a more direct conflict. His storylines in recent seasons often involve growth through discomfort. Tim is proud, stubborn, and emotional, but deep down, he wants to protect the people he loves. Episode 6 might place him in a situation where he faces criticism or must take responsibility for a mistake. The lights theme could represent a moment where he can't hide his flaws and must confront them openly. Whether it's a disagreement with Wine, a misunderstanding involving Jessica, or a challenge connected to the rodeo world, Tim may be pushed into a position where he has to choose between ego and honesty. Episodes that highlight Tim often show him struggling first, then finding a way to step up. And Episode 6 feels like it may follow that familiar pattern. Supporting characters like Katie, Lindy, and Jessica may each play smaller but meaningful roles. Katie might deal with a personal teenage challenge, friend drama, school pressure, or a misunderstanding with her mother or someone close to her. Lindy, still young and learning, may have a moment that warms the episode, something involving horses, bravery, or bonding with Amy. Jessica, with her artistic spirit and emotional awareness, might sense tension around the ranch and try to help someone see things from a different. Episode 6 carries a theme that feels bigger than just a single storyline. Heartland has always been a show built on emotion, honesty, healing, and quiet strength. And this episode seems ready to amplify all those elements. The main theme suggested by the title, Under Lights, points toward moments of exposure, truth, and clarity. These themes touch every character in different ways, shaping the emotional tone of the entire episode. Instead of dramatic explosions or sudden twists, Heartland often uses gentle turning points, moments where characters see themselves more clearly or understand each other a little better. Episode 6 appears to follow this pattern closely, bringing characters into situations where hidden feelings rise to the surface. One of the strongest themes likely to appear in this episode is emotional visibility. In Heartland, characters rarely hide their struggles completely, but they often try to protect others by keeping their pain quiet. Being under lights can represent a moment when that privacy disappears and someone must speak honestly. This honesty may come through a confrontation, a quiet conversation, or even an emotional mistake that reveals true feelings. For Amy, visibility may mean confronting emotions connected to her past, her late husband, or her fears about the future. For Lou, visibility may relate to leadership, confidence, or family expectations. For Tim and Jack, visibility could tie to their personal histories or old wounds that still shape their actions. When a character in Heartland is pushed into the open emotionally, the episode usually becomes a turning point for their entire season arc. Another important theme likely shaping this episode is pressure leading to growth. Being under bright lights is stressful. It forces people to act, choose, or reveal their true selves. Heartland uses pressure not to break its characters, but to guide them towards self-discovery. When Amy faces a challenge in front of others, she often finds strength she didn't realize she had. When Lou faces pressure, she learns something about balance and priorities. When Tim faces pressure, he confronts parts of himself he tries to avoid. And when Jack faces pressure, he reveals wisdom and understanding that helps the whole family. Episode 6 might use these pressures to guide characters toward important realizations. Even small moments, like Lindy learning something new, or Katie facing her own teenage confusion, can create emotional ripples that affect the ranch. The episode may also explore light as a symbol of truth. Darkness in storytelling often represents confusion, fear, or hidden emotions. When lights come on, truth becomes visible. Heartland loves using simple symbolism like this to deepen emotional moments without making them heavy-handed. A scene under arena lights, barn lights, or vehicle headlights could mark a moment where a character finally understands something they have been avoiding. Maybe Amy sees a horse's fear in a new way. Maybe Lou gains clarity about her role as a leader. Maybe Tim faces a truth about his past. Maybe Jack realizes someone needs support even if they don't ask for it. These kinds of symbolic scenes often become fan favorites because they carry emotional weight without needing dramatic dialogue. Another key theme that episode 6 may highlight is family unity through challenge. Heartland has always shown that even when characters disagree or struggle, they eventually come back together. Emotional tension in Heartland never breaks the family. It strengthens it. If episode 6 pushes characters into difficult emotional spaces, it may also bring them back together in small but meaningful ways. A shared conversation, a comforting gesture, or even just standing together at the end of a long day can show how deeply the family relies on one another. These moments often prepare viewers for the direction the rest of the season will take. The emotional tone of episode 6 is likely to feel warm, reflective, and honest. Heartland episodes in the middle of the season don't usually rely on big shocks. Instead, they focus on deepening relationships, solving smaller conflicts, and preparing viewers for bigger events later in the season. This episode may deliver quiet moments between Amy and Lindy, careful emotional steps between Lou and her daughters, reflective conversations involving Jack, and perhaps a tense but meaningful moment featuring Tim. The steady emotional tone helps build a foundation for the episodes that will follow, setting up stronger storylines that may come into play in episode 7, 8, or even the finale. For the rest of season 19, episode 6 could act as a turning point, Heartland seasons are structured so that the middle episodes gently shift the direction of the story. If episode 6 brings truths into the open, the episodes that follow will explore the consequences of those truths. Amy might enter the next chapter with more confidence or clarity. Lou might make